Beloved of St. Luke, blessed Easter to everyone. This coming Sunday, the Gospel will give us the resurrection appearance of Jesus on the road to Emmaus with two disciples. And that gives me a wonderful opportunity to share with you again what I think is a wonderful concept, biblical concept, which describes the life of faith of baptized disciples like you and me, and of congregations like St. Luke. There's sort of, the life of faith is described often as a journey, images of paths and roads that bear witness to the process of deepening faith over time are all through the Bible. And so maybe we should consider the marks of the life of a disciple, the marks of a congregation like St. Luke, by again looking at at least three biblical roads. And maybe our relationship with Jesus individually and corporately as a church could be deepened and extended along at least these three roads: the Emmaus Road, the Damascus Road, where Paul met the risen Lord, and the Jericho Road, where the Good Samaritan offered mercy to someone who'd been put upon. The great theologian Yogi Berra pointed out that if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. The faithful desire to create, come beside, promote those who want to follow Jesus in some clear directions. For these roads take us to Jesus. I wonder if we might think of the vitality of our faith lives and our congregation by looking at the intersection of the Damascus, Emmaus, and Jericho roads. Saul first set out on the Damascus road to persecute the followers of Jesus. He started walking the Damascus road, Acts tells us, breathing threats and murder against the disciples of the Lord. And of course, he really thought he was following God in doing this. It was along that road that Saul encountered the presence of the risen Jesus and was never the same again. He was stunned by the resurrection of Jesus from the dead, and he never got over it, and it shaped everything else which followed. The Damascus road took him to Ephesus, to Rome, to Jerusalem, to the ends of the earth. He did not know who this risen Christ was at first, but was captured by his presence. Experiencing the living, vital presence of Jesus is essential in the transformation of the individual believers and believing communities of Jesus. The Damascus Road is a journey of the Spirit that creates our identity and vocation, a mission for the people who call Jesus Christ their Lord. Foundational to understanding faith vitality and congregational vitality is a recognition that it is the work of the Holy Spirit, and the Spirit creates a new community, the presence of the risen Christ, and a new reality. So, the Damascus Road, transforming experiences the presence of the risen Christ. Just 7 miles from Jerusalem is another road called Emmaus, our gospel for tomorrow, for Sunday. The risen and leaving Jesus appears to two men who are walking on the road. Again, the risen Jesus is not recognized at first. The movement of this walk is critical and reveals two of the great inclinations of Jesus. He meets us where we are, and he takes us somewhere. With the two, he met them in the middle of their grief, a grief so profound they didn't even recognize the one walking with them. It is a road also where those who had hoped to see that Jesus was the promised one get to meet Jesus. It is a road that reaches its revelatory climax in the breaking of the bread, the revealing of Jesus in our experience in the Eucharist, and then their hearts burned within them. It is in many ways then a word and sacrament road. It's our church's walk. A full understanding of the vitality in communities of Jesus will mine the treasures of word and sacrament, and how they form and send those into mission who are called Christ's body. So the Damascus Road, transforming encounters with the risen Christ. The Emmaus Road, communal encounters at the table as the risen Christ teaches us and gives us his very body and blood. And then there's always the Jericho Road. It is a road traveled by both mercy and justice. Like the prophet said, "What do I require but that you love mercy and do justice and walk humbly with your God?" That's the Jericho Road, where faithful communities bind up those who are in need by the side of the dangerous road. Our soup and hot meal ministry, our visitations to those who are in the hospital or homebound, our cards and remembrances to each other during some of the hard experiences of our lives, the mutual care we give each other in our Thursday Bible study or Monday coffee break, the road to Jericho, where we bind up the wounded, but also passionately do what we can to, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., fix the damn road. Vital communities of Jesus take sides on behalf of the little, the lost, the last, and the least. The biblical mandate to care for the orphan, the widow, and the stranger in the land is married to the ministry of Jesus, who made this ministry not optional, but constitutive of those who call him Lord. Our social ministries that we support, our housing and our communal care, our end-of-life ministries, all take us on the Jericho Road. The heart of Jesus, love for the poor and the vulnerable, is the heart of all ministry in his name. So, I think that faith vitality and congregational vitality seeks to walk on at least the Damascus, the Emmaus, and the Jericho roads. These are the roads that lead to life-changing conversations with God, the church, and the world. These are the roads that form the vital intersections of faith. These are the roads that lead us into conversations that, with the Spirit's action, create the future and present ministries of St. Luke. And so Sunday we walk the Emmaus Road. So the three roads. I know it has sparked some of the imagination of some of you and of some of our artists. And I think these are robust biblical pictures of life with Christ.